You don't do facelifts, Botox, all this other shit.
I think about all of it. I'm like,
Sarah Jessica Parker is getting honest about if she has ever had plastic surgery. The Sex and the City star joined SiriusXM's The Howard Stern Show on Wednesday and candidly explained why she hasn't gone under the knife.
I ask people all the time, like, is it too late? Like, is it like now people be like, well, you don't know, not only look rested, you look like an entirely different human being.
Did you ever sit there and say, I need to do this? This is what to keep me? No.
During the interview, SJP explained what she has done in terms of keeping her skin and face feeling good.
I mean, I go to
you.
a dermatologist and there's like, you know, you can get like a peel and then they like, there's like a machine and it'll be like, you know, and she's like, hold on, that this is the first 4 seconds are the hardest. And she's right, you know, and then you're like a little red when you leave. I'll do any of that stuff. I honestly think like I missed out on the facelift. Like that be to me like the thing, like an old fashioned good one that you have when you're like 44.
You think you should have done it?
44. I've heard stories.
What?
I've seen some horror stories lately. I don't know. I'm glad you didn't do it.
The And Just Like That star went on to say that she doesn't blame anyone who opts for cosmetic enhancements, opening up about the beauty standards women in Hollywood are held to.
But I do understand why people make the choice, because there is so much emphasis put on, especially women, and primarily women, about looks. I mean, even last year when we first went on the air with the new season, and there were just so many endless articles about, you know, aging and aging gracefully, and, you know, Sarah Jessica's hair is gray. And I was like, first of all, it's not, but who cares? I'm sitting next to Andy Cohen, whose head is covered in gray hair, and you've not mentioned that at all. So I understand why women feel like there is so much chatter, peripheral and opinions. So I don't think it's wrong. I think people should do whatever they feel makes them feel better walking out the door, frankly.
The 58-year-old also reflected on if she considers herself attractive while recounting a story about working on LA Story with Steve Martin.
Something I read about you, it was way back in your career, and Steve Martin wrote you a note and said something like, I think you're really beautiful and you can be a leading lady. Is that a true story?
It's a version of how I was cast, basically. And I think, so I auditioned many times for LA Story, and then I did a screen test with Steve Martin.
You must have been nervous.
I was so nervous, and I loved him. I mean, we grew up, you and I, watching him on Saturday Night Live, buying his records, listening to him, and then watching how he works, which is super physical. And I think that idea, that story came from me saying that when I was cast in LA Story, it was as if Steve Martin was saying, I think you're attractive. You can play these kinds of parts.
When you look in the mirror, you don't see a good-looking human being. You don't feel...
I mean, I'm presentable. I mean,
come on.
I don't really like looking at myself. I like a fitting and getting in costume. I don't know. I mean, I think I'm fine.